We're not politically correct, we just have common sense.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unfaltering. Show of Support's Hunt for Heroes offers tributes and true stories of remarkable courage.
If these terrorists could come in your bedroom, they'd kill you, your wife, and your kids. And that's what these men are fighting to protect us from, these murdering idiots. And they're taking them out so that we don't have to deal with them over here.
Show of Support started it all just after the shock and awe bound a nation together. Now, years of footage portraying wounded veterans, deer stands, and standing ovations. Hunt for Heroes, that started as one man's way to say thanks, is now a series that many say is way overdue.
I ain't never felt like that before, and I want to feel that again.
It's just a raw emotion.
They left us being loved and being honored for the heroes that they are.
We still have 40,000 injured troops.
If you threaten our people and our way of life, we will find you wherever you may be hiding, in the place you feel most safe, and we'll kill you in your own bedroom. Thank you for being a country worth fighting for. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
It's going to take a while to get around to all of them, but there's no quitting. It'll never stop as long as I'm breathing.
Show of Support Hunt for Heroes is made possible through a partnership with Pioneer Natural Resources, Boss Blinds, Caltech, Tico Field Service, Double J Ranches, CBT Charities, and Christmas for our troops.
Oh no!
She probably bagged something even bigger. She probably.
I'm gonna make her look real bad. I'm gonna bring back a mountain lion.
We were excited. I was more excited for her than I was for myself. We were just looking forward to relaxation and hopefully some good hunts.
If you think we had a chase, we chased that thing for 4 hours.
Yes, we did.
There's always something special, it seems, about the last hour of the last evening of a hunt.
But you're still smiling. That's all that matters.
After several days here at the Rio Bonito Ranch in the Texas Hill Country, Meghan Griffin and her brother Josh proudly reveal the results of their last hunt. Deer season has come and gone, but the canyons and cedar-choked hillsides outside Junction, Texas offer off-season and year-round hunting.
Winter hunt? Oh, I'm so glad.
It's been a big day for Show of Support Hunt for Heroes organizer Terry Johnson. After more than 200 hunts for combat veterans, Meghan Griffin is the first female to apply.
So excited about shoes.
It's somewhat of a threshold of sorts for the very first program of its kind.
Like a glove, and look, hot pink.
Everybody around her, her fiance, all of her friends, they all go hunting. They're all avid hunters.
I changed my socks, but they do fit, and thank you, thank you.
I think deep down she's always wanted to go hunting, and she wanted to be a part of the club, I guess.
Thank you so much. I mean, seriously, can I please thank you so much? Yeah, that definitely makes hunting a lot easier.
When Meghan and her brother showed up for this hunt, Terry Johnson couldn't have imagined in a million years the ironic twist in the incredible story of a brother and his sister separated by the military, but reunited by tragedy.
Oh my God, I got him, I didn't miss. I was just like, yes, yeah, so it was really cool.
This portion of Show of Support Hunt for Heroes is made possible through a partnership with Pioneer Natural Resources.
I was just honestly trying to soak it all in. I didn't really have any excitement or, anxiousness or anything. I was just really trying to soak in the fact that I was here, and it's really hard to pay attention with all those trophies on the wall. You're just like, man, what is that? Oh, that's cool. Oh, man.
Meghan Griffin is somewhat intimidated. especially when her brother Josh, whom she brought for encouragement, disappears with Terry Johnson.
I'm not going to say a whole lot, but I'm going to say a little bit to them, and this is where we present them with a rifle. If you could help me, just bring me 2 of these cases.
I didn't even notice my brother disappeared. I was kind of getting to know everybody and meeting everybody, and then he comes walking out with this rifle, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
10 years ago, I took 2 guys hunting. I loaned them each one of my rifles. I had 2 rifles. The next year I took 12 guys. I didn't have 12 rifles. So I made 12 phone calls to 12 buddies, and they all coughed up money so that I could buy rifles and present. So it's kind of become a tradition. Every year we present each one of you guys with a rifle that somebody has wanted you to have.
I'm gonna go put a bow on it.
Meghan saved a guy when she was in Germany, that was living in her barracks. He received a cut that would have, without immediate action, proved to be fatal. And she jumped into action and saved his life.
Wow. It's one of the nicest gifts I've ever received.
She was so excited. Like, she was about to go and hunt, and she was like, I gotta take pictures. And she took a picture of the rifle, and then she took a picture of the scope, and she took a picture of all the stuff that went with it. And she was like, hold on, I gotta do this. I was like, Meghan, you need to go hunting. That's what you need to do.
It was so neat to see all the different animals that came out, axis and whitetail and fallow deer just out in their natural habitat. I mean, it's incredible. I'm gonna have these memories forever, and it's great. I was stationed in Germany for 3 years, and I joined the military first, and then my little brother, of course, oh, I'm gonna make sergeant before you, everything's competition, joined right after me.
Meghan joined the Army and found herself in Germany, training to be a diesel mechanic for the Army's fighting vehicles.
I'm like, you signed up to do what? And I'm like, have you lost your mind?
Oh my. Sorry about the view, guys.
The second morning, we saw nothing but whitetail. It was hard not to fall asleep. The first evening, I was just so excited. I was just like, oh my gosh, and I couldn't go to sleep because I was so excited. And then, it was hard trying to fall asleep so I could go on the morning hunt. And I think I ended up getting like 3 hours of sleep. When our guide Peter came and picked us up from the blind, I honestly thought we were going back to the lodge. And he had told us that we were going to do some spot and stalk. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to walk around. I'm not going to be sitting in a blind. I'm going to go, hunt down my trophy on foot. And he drove us out to this other spot. And I mean, he had told us, he was like, they're going to be hard to find. You're going to have to walk around and you're going to have to look for them and you're going to have to be quiet and stuff like that. I'm a real talkative person, so, being quiet wasn't the easiest thing to do, but, we walked around for a couple of hours looking for him, and then we eventually came up on him.
Hunting guide Peter Ricard is determined to help his first-time hunter take that white Texas doll.
When we were closing in on him to take the shot, I was really nervous. When we finally got close enough, I was like, man, this is it. My mind was pretty blank. I was more reminding myself, okay, breathe, be calm, relax, don't get too excited or you might miss. Sitting there waiting, your anticipation builds up. Your adrenaline gets going and you're kind of shaking and you're just like, dude, this is awesome. I got him.
Good shot. You made a good shot there.
I was just like, oh my God. And he didn't go far. Look at his beard. I wanted to get over there and see. So it was just total excitement, just rush, total rush. It's like, man, I did this. I accomplished this. It just felt like total, utter, and complete self-worth knowing that I did that, I get to put this on my wall. It makes you feel like you did something, and it was for you.
Meghan's got an anxious brother back at the lodge waiting for her to get back, waiting to share the celebration of a brand new hunter among the ranks of the American military.
I love the curl. I wasn't even sure if I was going to like hunting, but I did, and I would come back again and again and again. It's exhilarating.
That's awesome.
Meghan and Josh are in for a surprise as Show of Support Hunt for Heroes continues. Stay with us.
Did you get buck fever?
Nope.
Well,
Sure didn't. Just calm as a cucumber. When I got in, it was kind of like a rush of people. Got all kinds of people talking to me, and I'm like, oh, thank you, and shaking hands and stuff like that.
you could have knocked me over with a feather. I mean, I was in awe of my sister.
Army veteran Meghan Griffin has just gotten her first taste of hunting, and it appears she's hooked for life. But during this celebration back at the Rio Bonito Lodge, Meghan's got something in the back of her mind to say to Terry Johnson.
After talking to Terry, I'd let him know that, yeah, I'd served in the Army and I was a disabled veteran, but I told him that my brother was a Purple Heart disabled veteran. I mean, my brother was the one who deserved to be here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to brag, but yeah, I was.
But now you get a chance to outdo her.
Oh, that's awesome! Yes!
I'm like, huh? I was like, there's no way. I'm
Want you to take
like,
this,
did he really just, I didn't even, I had no idea where I was, what I was doing, or how I got there.
It's really hard to find words to describe how awesome that felt.
It felt like I was on top of the world.
It's obvious the most important person in Josh Griffin's life is his older sister. She's been there for him in the past, but little did she know that in Josh's worst moment, she would be there at his side.
Our dad died when we were 15, and so he got really close to his NCOs.
This is Master Sergeant James Frederick Hayes. I looked up to him like a father. Yeah, he was my, NCO, he was my boss, but ultimately, when I looked at him, it was like a father. It was 6 November of '05. We were going out on mission. We hit an IED, and when it went off, it hit the right front side of the vehicle, and we were going about 60 miles an hour, and it flipped it end over end 3 times. And, Smoke Hayes caught the blunt of it. Losing him changed my life significantly. Every day I still ask myself the question, what if I did something wrong? Because I was driving. My heart stopped 4 times, but ultimately I had a right femoral fracture, a double mandible fracture, lacerations to my head, 2nd-degree burns to my hand and face, and multiple secondary facial fractures.
My NCO had told me, he said, I just want you to know that your brother was blown up in Iraq. He was like, I don't know what kind of condition he's in. He's alive, and they're transporting him to Landstuhl. And that was only maybe 2 hours from where I was. I just got there as fast as I could.
Thousands of miles away from home, a brother and sister are together. And it was in this hospital room in Germany where a ceremony took place unlike any in the history of the military.
I don't remember a whole lot about, when I was in the hospital in Germany, but one big thing I do remember was that Purple Heart that I was presented for my injuries in Iraq.
They actually walked into the room with it in ICU, and they asked me if I wanted to do it, and I was like, yeah, I'll give my brother his Purple Heart.
It definitely meant the world. I mean, I could have received it from anybody, generals and colonels, but it wouldn't have meant as much coming from one of them. The fact that my sister only ever gave out one, and I'm the only person who ever received it, kind of hits home when you think about it.
I was proud of him. I was proud. I mean, I was just, I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. It just, you just have an overwhelming sense of pride and love and honor all at the same time. I mean, it's just a flood of emotions.
Sorry it had to be painful. I wish I could take that part away from you guys. And again, this is just our way of saying thanks the way I know how. And I truly mean it. I hope you use this gun later in the future and remember this weekend. Remember, there's a grateful nation out here. Very appreciative of what you've done.
I was really proud to be able to call him my brother.
This portion of Show of Support Hunt for Heroes is made possible through a partnership with Pioneer Natural Resources. The days passed slowly for Josh Griffin, the Army combat veteran brought back to life 4 times after an explosion in Iraq. His sister came here to the Rio Bonito Ranch as the very first female hunter in the 10 years of Show of Support Hunt for Heroes.
Being out there was just one of the most relaxing, calming feelings that I've had in a long time.
The morning of the last day, the bottom falls out across this 25 square mile ranch.
Rain, thunder, lightning, hail, right on top of us, and we're sitting in a blind with a steady dripping roof. So I'm sure these animals aren't going to show up and be out here with us. Stuck out there in a metal box, it's like this could get bad real quick. I was still optimistic that, hey, you know, I'm not going to quit. We're going to get something.
The last morning turns into the last afternoon for Josh. Rio Bonito hunting guide Dan Bach decides to brave the mud and take off on foot. And it doesn't take long before they spot a group of rams.
I was excited. My blood was pumping. Right in front of us, 200 yards out, is 4 gorgeous animals. In the midst of that, I decided, okay, I want that black Hawaiian. They kept moving. All I needed was a half a second, and you just couldn't give it to me. So we moved on, and we got back on the trail and got after them again. Being grateful for the rain was almost instantly replaced by having to walk around in the mud and carry about 15 pounds of mud per boot.
The black Hawaiian ram and his cohorts teased, tantalized, and tortured Josh and Dan for the better part of 4 hours. Then, in a split second, the shot he's been looking for.
Here they come, Josh. Hey, you good? Buddy. Good job, way to go. Thanks. I appreciate it.
It made everything worth it. 4 hours of trekking around with 20-pound mud on your boots. It was like no other feeling in the world. When I got to him and I put my hands on him for the first time, and he's wet and he's muddy and nasty and sticky, it didn't even matter. After chasing this guy for 4 hours, I didn't care.
Good job, buddy. Thank you, sir. Good job.
He laid on that horn coming in. Everybody coming barreling outside to see what's been brought in.
All right. It's muddy out there.
It's a little muddy, dude. Black Hawaiian, dude. And everybody's just like, congratulations, good job. 4 hours stalking. He dropped, yeah. It felt like I was on top of the world. What do we got?
And then the one person Josh wanted to share this moment with.
She brought back a coon.
Over 100 yards away. Nailed him.
I was proud of her. All right, Megan, come here.
You could tell it touched him in his heart somewhere that's been dark for a long time. Words don't really describe it. I mean, it just incredible.
Somehow, after more than 200 show of support hunts, Terry Johnson once again finds himself in the presence of American military greatness. A brother and sister whose separate military journeys ironically brought them together in a hospital halfway around the world.
But you're still smiling. That's all
These
that
are the
matters.
moments Terry Johnson and all the folks with Show of Support live for. It may be dark, wet, cold, and muddy, but nobody seems to mind. A brother and sister share a moment they deserve for the incredible things they've done for a grateful nation.
This is definitely something we will always have, and we're already making plans to do more. Just the two of us, just the brother and sister duo making our dreams come true.